Are electric vehicles a big con? Fossil fuel emissions are the biggest driver of climate change, and around 75% of transport emissions come through road transport. Under most governments' net zero policies, a shift to electric vehicles is actively encouraged. This generally includes tax reliefs and subsidies. But will electric vehicles make a difference? Electric vehicles produce around 60 to 80% more carbon dioxide emissions when being manufactured, mostly due to battery production. But once they're up and running, they can be around 50 to 100% more efficient. They then need to be driven around 10 to 25,000 miles before paying back their carbon debt. Electric vehicles are generally sold as second-hand from about 3 to 5 years old, or about from 3 years under lease agreements. Looking at UK second-hand data, electric vehicles with 10 to 25,000 miles on them are generally sold at this point, probably because people want to upgrade their vehicles to ones with better battery technologies. The point is that just as they're clawing back their carbon debt, they're being sold, meaning that any carbon savings are minimal. Then there's other issues. Mining for batteries causes habitat destruction and is associated with human rights abuses and child labour. Then there's that electric vehicles are heavier than normal cars. They caused increased amounts of plastic particulate pollution through tyre erosion, and they cause increased damage to road surfaces and car parks which need maintenance and repair and replacement. So why are these unpopular vehicles being pushed upon us? Electric vehicles could pay back their ecological costs if they were used enough, but that doesn't really reflect the reality of their use. It seems that politicians were sold some idealised interpretation of what electric vehicles could be before enforcing policies that mean we have to use them. But is that the only explanation? I would say no. Politicians are pushing a solution that suits the car manufacturers who get guaranteed sales on the back of people's concerns about the environment. The whole policy seems to be a way of paying lip service to environmentalism, whilst ensuring that car manufacturers maintain their lucrative business, selling people vehicles that they get annoyed with and they want to replace due to frustrations with the battery technology. Climate change and vehicle use are a massive problem, but all this really goes to show is that if we want to change things, we need to drive much less. That would mean more public transport, riding bicycles, and even working less. These are all things that go against business and profit making. And at the end of the day, what we need is systems change before we can start tackling sustainability and the climate crisis.